A pleasant afternoon, everyone. I am Mary Ann Mandao, the first reporter of Group 3, and we tackled about international human rights. But before we proceed, let us know the learning objectives. First is describe the 6 founding principles of the U.S. Declaration of Independence. Second, explain the 3 principles of French Declaration of the Human Rights of Man. Third, differentiate the Constitution of Bill of Rights. Fourth, describe the United Nations. Fifth, explain the 6 principles organs of United Nations. Sixth, describe and appreciate the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And the last is enumerate some of the rights that are indicated in UDHR. And we tackled about the international development of human rights. In the previous chapter, it is discussed that the modern concept of human rights blossoms over the past 3 centuries. In the 17th and 18th centuries, the concept of natural rights emerged. The natural rights are not subject to any political, legal, or religious systems. They are inalienable rights that are human possessed since birth. Cengage 2019. It is the best summarized in the preamble of the Declaration of Independence in 1776, which state that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. First, let us know what is the international human rights. So, international human rights is the body of international law designed to promote and protect human or rights of human at the international or regional and domestic level. So in the international human rights, sila ang mo promote, sila mo protect sa kanang rights sa tao, sa ilang level, sa man sila nga level, so na sila mag-promote, mag-protect sila sa mga rights sa mga tao bisan pag unsa na sila ilang mga level. So in this sa akong gibasa is kuan na sila dito sa Declaration of Independence, nagkuan sila, di ba, ingon sila nga kuan nga all men have the rights. So din sa international independence, ilang gikuan nga tanang lalaki na ay katungod. So or ang mga tao adunay mga katungod sa gikan pa lang sa ilang pagkatao is na gid na sila katungod bisan unsa pa man ilang level sa ilang pagkatao na sila mga katungod dili lang gid nato makuan magtantangan na gid na sila mga rights or ilang mga katungod nga ilang mga kuan nilang self bilang kagalingon. Next is the United States Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence was the first formal statement by a nation people asserting their rights to choose their own governments. It is a document written by Thomas Jefferson and was approved by the Continental Congress on July 4, 1776, and that announced that the separations of North American British colonies from the Great Britain. So sa document kagisulat ni Thomas Jefferson nga giaprubahan sa Continental Congress sa July 4, 1776, nagdeclare sila sa independence nga kini ang pinakaunang sinulat nga ilang gipahayag or gipakita or gipa-inform sa mga tao nga naay mga karapatan na sila mga katungod nga mupili sa ilang kanang asa sila pwede nga mo puyo o sa ilang sarili na pamahalaan or kanang ilang na sila mga rights ba nga mo kana sila magbuot kung asa sila mo puyo nga kuan lugar. The founding fathers introduced the 6 founding principles. First, the rule of law. This means the law applies equally to all in society, whether they be in the government or the masses. Through the explicitly expressed, the entire Declaration of Independence is about the idea of rule of law by William 2009, wherein the government and citizens all obey by the same laws regardless of political powers. So, dinhe, the rule of law nga ang kuan kuno ang batas ay nalalapat ng pantay o ilang gihatag nga balaod, ang mga balaod nila is ni kanang kuan ba balance. So kung sa ilang balaod dito, dapat tanan na siya may mahatagan ana nga balaod, walay gipili ana. So dapat pantay ang kanang nga balaod kana ilang gihatag. Kung bisan pa og nagtanapa ka sa gobyerno or napaka sa basta bisan sa imong mga level sa imong life, basta kana nga kuan, kana nga law nga ilang gihatag is pantay jud na ang makuanan ana. Magkuan ana nga mo aim ana nga kuan kanang law nga ilang gihatag o mga balaod nga ilang gihatag. So kanang sa kanilang gikuan nga ilang declare nga kanang hatagan ka og kanang kalayaan. Second, equality. This formed the idea that all men are created equal. So ang tanang tao gibug na nga patas. All individuals have the same status. So dapat tanan patas jud, regardless their claim as a human being. So as a tao na kinahanglan jud patas yun mo, bisan pa mo high class man ka or low class, dapat equal jud. As bisan pag imong kuan, bisan pa imo ang imong position naka sa taas nga position, dapat ang inyong mga kuan, inyong mga balao dapat patas jud mo. That's all.
Good day everyone, and good day to you, sir. I'm Dualdo Erosing Jr., the second reporter of the Group 3, Chapter 3, entitled International Human Rights. As a continuation of the discussion of Ms. Medao, my assigned topic is that first, unalienable rights, second, social impact, third, limited government, and lastly, the reform and revolution. Unalienable rights, this means that the rights cannot be taken away. They burn within each person and can never taken away the government. So example of this is that the freedom of speech. These rights are the right to express one's opinions and beliefs, and these opinions by the individual which cannot be taken away from us with whatever kanani ang naa sa ato ang mind or unsa nga mga thoughts or unsa nga mga feelings nga gusto nato ipaggawas. And another example of this is that the freedom of religions, is that freedom to practice one's religion or beliefs. Which means that kanani ang no one in the government can stop you to choose or whatever religions that you practice, and they cannot stop you of what you believe. My last example of the unalienable rights is that a right to equality. It should be ensuring that all individuals are treated equally and fairly under the law, that which means kadang in the forms of government there should be the equality and fairness sa pagdala sa ilahang people. My second topic is that the social impact, which means the idea that the people have come together and created a government to protect their unalienable rights. Hence, the power of government comes from the people. Moreover, the governments rest of the consent of the people and only acts justly with the consent. So, this point, ang according to the statement, ang government is nagagikan sa people. Ang power of sa ang power sa government kay came from sa mga katawhan. So ang government ang government, one of an example aning sa social impact is kanang sa community development project, like for example buildings of schools, and like for example building of schools, there there is an organization that kanang tukod or nag-build og schools for the child kanang nabilong sa poor family in order for them to be educated and for kanang mahatagan pog chance ang mga student nga makahuman sila to school and to have a better future. Another example of this, which the providing health care services. So sa social impact, there will be the providing health care services is a big impact to the people if the government implement these healthcare services in order for the people who have need medicines and kanani treatment that kanani ang makaayos ang mga diseases sa mga people, and this will help them to be kanani ang community is ma-maintain ang kanani ang the healthcare. My third topic is data limited government. In order to keep the government power to its proper scope, the government must be limited and provide recourse citizens to be protected from arbitrary power. In other words, the power and authority of the governments should have a limit to ensure that it remains just and not prone to abuse. So in this point, ang government should not kanani ang ma-abuse ang mga citizens. Like for example of this is the separation of powers, where the government is divided into three branches, which is the executive, legislative, and the judicial branch. So each with kananiang its own distinct powers and responsibilities. So in order to keep the kananiang peace of sa mga people o dili pud sila ma-abuse, these three branches of governments can help or implement laws and implementing laws. So naingon po diri sa limited government, in other words, the power and authority of the governments should have a limit. So example of this, kanani ang dapat dili malapas ang kanani ang power and authority sa government nga ma-abuse na pud ang kanani ang rights sa mga persons. Like for example, ani sa nga mga rights is what I said earlier, is kanani ang sa freedom to speech, freedom kanani ang equality, or unsa pa na nga mga rights nga dapat dili malapas sa kanani ang government. There should be the limitation for them. My last assigned topic is the reform and revolution. It is the idea that if the governments become unjust and violates our unalienable rights, we have the right to reform or even abolish it. So at this point, sa reform and revolution, if ang governments kanani ang dapat dili ma-violates ang ato ang unalienable rights, which that sa freedom to choose sa imong religion, right to life, kanani ang equality and kanani ang sa imuhang sa kanani ang right to due process. And we have the right if ma-violate ang atuang mga unalienable rights basta. So at that point, if the governments passed our unalienable rights, we have the right to reform or even abolish it, or we can revolution makakwanta of revolutionary movement if the people or the citizens of the government is being abused. And that's all my side. So thank you and God bless.
Good day, sir. I am John Marie Migapon from B Screen 1C. Francis Declaration of the Rights of Man. Francis National Constituent Assembly in August 1789 is a fundamental document of French Revolution that granted civil rights to its citizens. Its key drafts were prepared by General Lafayette, who is a close friend of Thomas Jefferson. The concepts in the Declaration are derived from the tenets of the Enlightenment, including individualism, the social contract as theorized by Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and the separation of powers espoused by Montesquieu. In addition, the spirit of secular natural law rests the foundation of Declaration. So, the France Declaration of of the Rights of Man, it is the declaration that was documented during by French Revolution. It stated that all men are born free and equal in rights, emphasizing principles like freedom of speech and equality before the law and sovereignty of the people. So, and this declaration is aimed to protect individual liberties, promote equality, and limit of power of government. And next is social contract. The terms comes from a 1762 book by Jean-Jacques Rousseau. It is a theory or model that originated during the age of Enlightenment that deals with the questions of the origin of the society and the legitimacy of the authority of the state over individual. So, ang social contract, it's like an agreement na between the people and the government. It says that people give up some their freedoms and right of the government in exchange for protection and order. Just like for example, imbes na ang government mo magpamalakad sa kaning law, ilan na lang gi sarili, ilahang gi butang sa ilang sariling kamay para makuha nilang ilang justice and individuals agreement. And next is separation of powers. A model of governance of a state first developed in ancient Greece. Under this model, the state is divided into three branches, each with separate and independent power and areas of responsibility, so that the power of one branch are not in conflict with the powers associated with the other branches. The most common division of branches is legislative, executive, and judiciary. So, ang separation of powers divided into three branches. Each branch has its own job to do. Ang first is legislative branch. Legislative branch, it is the lawmakers. Sila ang taga-imo sa law. And the executive branch, sila ang taga-enforce the law para ma-ensure nila kung gina-follow ba sa community. And the judicial branch, sila ang taga-interpret the law, and make decisions in legal cases. Ang separation of powers na develop tungod para ma-prevent ang isa ka government nga mas mulabaw ilang rights. Gi-develop ni para naay equality and freedom. Next is natural law. It's a philosophy that claims that certain rights or values are inherent by virtue human nature and can be universally understood through human reason. It is based on the idea that natural laws are universal concepts and are not based in a culture or custom. So, a natural law is the idea that there are basic moral rules that exist naturally and apply to everyone. From the word universal, tibuok nga dapat i-apply nato tanan. Then these rules are considered to be fair and right, and they come from a higher authority or a sense or what is just. They include things like the right to life, freedom, and fairness. And it also helps guide our decision about what is right and wrong. And it reminds us that there are certain rights that should be protected for everyone.
So naa diri nakabutang ang roles sa atong country. Like kung giunsa or ano ang dapat gawin ng pamahalaan para sa mga tao at kung ano din ang dapat gawin ng mga tao para sa pamahalaan. In the summer of 1787, delegates from the 13 states convened in Philadelphia and drafted a blueprint for self-government, which is the Constitution of the United States. So, an American Bill of Rights, inspired by Thomas Jefferson and drafted by James Madison, was adopted, and in 1791, the Constitution's first 10 amendments became the law of the land. This a list of specific prohibition on governmental power and response to calls from several states for greater constitutional protection for individual liberties. So, Constitution is a written set of rules for a country. It says what the government must do for the people and what the people must do for the government. So, it is also a fundamental legal political framework that establishes the basic principles, laws, institutions, rights, and duties within a nation, state, or social group. Then gaserve po di siya o ga-define sa identity of a political community and outlines the structures of its government. Good day, sir. I am Angelica B. Nicolas, the fourth reporter of Group 3, and my topic for this is the continuation of Mr. Migabon's report, which is the United States Constitution and Bill of Rights. Bill of Rights is a formal declaration of the fundamental rights of individuals within a particular territory. So, mo po ni siya ang nakabutang sa Article 3 of the Philippine Constitution, ang Bill of Rights. Ga-establish ni siya og relationships sa individual and to the state. Then, ga-define po ni siya sa atong rights or the rights of the individual nga naglimit sa lawful power of the state. He is also the one who declared our fundamental rights. Like for example, in the Article 3 in the Bill of Rights, Section 1, which no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall any person be denied the equal protection of the law. So means the Bill of Rights was inspired by Thomas Jefferson, who is often credited with drafting the original document. Then James Madison, siya ang another founding father, it said, to have drafted the specific language of the Bill of Rights. So the Bill of Rights was adopted by the first Congress in 1791, which means it became part of the Constitution. Limits on what the government can do and ensure that certain powers are reserved for the people or the states. That many states were asking for more guarantees of individuals' rights and freedoms in the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights was way to address this concern. So the entire of Bill of Rights was created to protect rights. The original citizens believed were natural. There were includes freedom of religion, the rights to exercise one's own religion or no religion free from any government influence or compulsion. So, freedom of religion. So, the government cannot, in most cases, restrict how people pray, dress, eat, or otherwise observe their belief. So, dili makabuot ang government or dili sila makapugong kung unsay buhaton sa lain nga religion, kung unsang ilahang suuton, giunsa nila pag-pray or giunsa nila pagkaon. So, freedom of speech, press, petition, and assembly. Even unpopular expression is protected from government, suppression, or censorship. And Amendment 1. So freedom of speech is the right of a person to articulate opinions and ideas without interference or retaliation from the government. So they have the right to express their thoughts, feelings, and even their ideas. And it also includes far more than just words, but also what a person wears, reads, performs, protests, and more. Example of this is a reporter. So reporter is they have the rights to cover a protest and write it on the newspaper so that people will know what is the news. It also includes the news outlet that publishes an investigation or public corruption, or a local outlet updates its community. So freedom of press is the principle that communication and expression through media is a fundamental right. So according to Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, state, everyone has the right to freedom of opinion expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontiers. So freedom of the press, which gives media like newspapers and TV news the right to communicate and express opinions, is essential to democracy and the protection of human rights. It also gives individuals and organizations the right to express, publish, and share information, ideas, and opinions without fear or censorship or government interference. So freedom of petition. The right to petition permits us to ask government to take action to address a need or concern. While it doesn't guarantee a desired result, it does not ensure a level of participation in the democratic process. It is the most basic petitioning government for redress or grievances. Involves a simple communication to government asking for change, and it's most comprehensive. So petition is also done by professional lobbyists representing industries with extensive resources and political influence. So freedom of assembly is the right to freedom of association involves the right of individuals to interact and organize among themselves to collectively express, promote, pursue, and defend common interests. So in addition, everyone has the right to freedom of peaceful assembly and association, which are essential components of democracy. The right of peaceful assembly includes the right to hold meetings, sit-ins, strikes, rallies, events, or protests, both offline and online. So privacy, it is the right to be free of unwarranted and unwanted government intrusion into one's personal and private affairs, papers, and positions. So your personal life is like your own home. You want to be able to lock your doors, shut your curtains, and controls who comes in and out. And your papers are also like your personal documents, like your diary, emails, or financial records. You want to be able to keep them private and not have someone else snoop through them. Your possessions are like your stuff, like your phone, computer, or belongings. You want to be able to keep them private and not have someone else search through them without your permission. And the phrase unwarranted and unwanted government intrusion means that the government should not be able to come into your home, read your papers, or search your position without a good reason, like a court order or a valid investigation, and without your consent. In other words, privacy is about having control over your own personal life and being able to keep it private from the government unless there's a really good reason why they need to know something. So due process of law, the right to be treated equally before the law regardless the loss of liberty is at stake by Amendment 5. So due process of law is a fundamental principle in a fair and just society. It means that every individual has the right to be treated equally and fairly before the law regardless of their situation or circumstances. In essence, due process of law ensures that you have the same right as others, means you have the same right and protection as anyone else in the country, regardless of your background, social status, or circumstances. You're treated fairly. You're not treated unfairly or arbitrarily by the law or its enforcers. You're given a fair chance to present your case. You're given a fair opportunity to present your side of You're given a fair chance to present your case. You're given a fair opportunity to present your side of the story, provide evidence, and defend yourself against any accusation or charges. Due process of law is crucial because it prevents abuse of power. It means it ensures that those in power, including government, officials, and law enforcers, don't use their authority to harm or exploit individuals. Promote fairness and justice. It helps to ensure that the outcome of a legal process is fair and just, rather than arbitrary or biased. Protect individuals' rights. It protects individuals from losing their liberty or their freedom without a fair and throughout process. So, equality before the law. The right to be treated fairly and equally before the law regardless of social status. It is a fundamental right that ensures everyone is treated equally and fairly before the law regardless of their social status, wealth, power, or any other factor. So in essence, equality before the law means that you're treated the same as others. You're treated with the same respect and fairness as anyone else, regardless of your social status, background, or circumstances. And no special treatment. You're not given special treatment or advantage because of your social status, wealth, or power. No bias or discrimination. The law and its enforcers don't discriminate against you because your race, gender, religion, or any other characteristic. So equality before the law is crucial because it fights against inequality. Means it ensures that everyone has an equal opportunity to participate in the legal process and access justice. Promote fairness and justice. It helps to ensure that the outcome of a legal process is fair and just, rather than biased or influenced by external factors. Protect individuals' rights. It protects individuals from being treated unfairly or discriminated against due to their social status or other factors. United Nations. The United Nations is an international organization founded in 1945 at the Yalta Conference as a replacement for the League Nations after World War II. The UN and its work are guided by the purpose and principles contained in its founding charter. So the United Nations is an international organization that was established in 1945 after World War II. Its main goal is to promote peace, security, and cooperation among its member states. The UN purpose is to maintain international peace and security, to prevent unresolved conflicts between nations, and to promote peaceful resolution of disputes. Promote sustainable development. Aims to promote economic growth, social progress, and environmental protection. To promote sustainable development aims to promote economic growth, social progress, and environment protection, and to address the challenges of poverty, hunger, and inequality. Protect human rights. The UN promotes and protects human rights, including the rights of women, children, minorities, and indigenous people. Provide humanitarian aid. The UN provides humanitarian aid to people affected by natural disasters, conflicts, and other crises. So in summary, United Nations is an international organization that was established after the World War II to promote peace, security, and cooperation among its member states. The UN's purpose is guided by its founding charter, which outlines its principles and structures. The Charter emphasizes sovereignty, non-interference, self-determination, human rights, and peaceful settlement of disputes as the principle guiding its work.
Hello everyone, my name is John Andres Silis. I'll be discussing the United Nations Charter, its purpose, its principles, and the 6 organs. First, the United Nations Charter. The UN Charter is the founding document of the United Nations. It was signed on 26 June 1945 in San Francisco at the conclusion of the United Nations Conference on International Organization and came into force on 24 October 1945. The UN Charter is the foundational treaty or the agreement that's established to promote peace, security, and cooperation among the nations. It was signed on 1945 by the 50 countries at San Francisco War Memorial and Performing Arts Center in San Francisco, California. And it came into force on October 24, 1945. It has been the guiding documents for the UN's activities for nearly 8 decades. And the UN main purpose is to first, to keep peace throughout the world. Second, to develop friendly relations among nations. Third, to help nations work together to improve the lives of poor people, to conquer hunger, disease, and illiteracy, and to encourage respect for each other's rights and freedoms. And the last one is to be the center of harmonizing the actions of nations to achieve these goals. Those are the main purpose of the United Nations. As you can see in the news and articles about the UN, United Nations, you can see that if something happens within the member of its constitution, they help each other through financial and social help. And also they help to aid the member who had gotten into war or any calamities that they experience. In every organization there is a principles, but the UN member shall act according to this principle, Article 2. The sovereign equality of all its members. That's the first one. All member states are sovereign and equal, and they should respect each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity. And the second is the fulfillment of obligation of all members to ensure the rights and benefits act according to this principle, Article 2. The sovereign equality of all its members. That's the first one. All member states are sovereign and equal, and they should respect each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity. And the second is the fulfillment of obligation of all members to ensure the rights and benefits resulting from membership. It means all member states must act in accordance with the purposes and principles of the United Nations outlined in the Charter. Dapat ilahag itong sundon kung sa ilang ipirmahan nito as a member of the United Nations. Dapat ilang i-fulfill ilang obligations in every situation. And the third one is the settlement of the international dispute by peaceful means in such a manner that international peace and security and justice are not in danger. It means that the member states should seek peaceful solutions to international conflicts and avoid the threat or use of force. Dapat, kung na mga problemas, na mga international issues, dapat sila magamit og mga force or mga dili na threat ang mga nation. So, na mga international issues, dapat ilahan ng sulbaran in a peaceful way. Same as the principles number 3. 4 is avoiding threat or use of force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state when conducting international relations. Similar mo sa principle number 3. Dapat mo-avoid the use of threat or force against the territorial integrity. Dapat states should respect the territorial integrity and political independence of the other states. Dapat yun, nagay respect and equality. 5 principles is all members shall give the United Nations full support and cooperation in all its endeavors. Dapat, as a member of the United Nations, dapat ihatag nimo imong full support in terms of helping the other states about their problems or issues. The member states are obligated to assist the UN in these efforts. Dapat ihatag nimo imong full support in terms of helping the other states about their problems or issues. The member states are obligated to assist the UN in these efforts. And number 6 principles, the maintenance of international peace and security by extending its principles to non-members of the UN. It means di lang kayo sa members of the UN dapat i-apply ang ilang main purpose or principle. Di lang sa ilang membro dapat i-apply ang ilang principles, kundili sa lain po nga states that are not the member of the United Nations. 7. Non-intervention of the UN in matters which are essentially within the domestic jurisdiction of any scale. It means that member states should refrain from interfering the internal affairs of other states. Dapat ang member sa UN, if na ay mga domestic judicial issues, di na siya pwede interfere sa lain. Kay prohibited na sila sa ilahang principle. Dapat di sa interfere og mga problems within their states. Those are the principles of the UN according to the Article 2. And next, we will discuss the 6 principal organs of the United Nations. First, the General Assembly. General Assembly means serve as forum for member states to discuss and address international issues. Ang General Assembly usan siya ka meeting sa mga members sa United Nations para i-discuss lang mga issues or na mga recommendations sa mga states. Dapat din na pag-marsag meeting dito. And the current president of the United Nations General Assembly is no other than Dennis Francis, president of the 78th session of the General Assembly. And the next one is the Security Council. Ang Security Council, it play a crucial role in maintaining international peace and security. Ang mga Security Council, by the means of security, dapat sila ang police sa international, sila mag-maintain sa mga peace within the member of the United Nations. And the third one is Economic and Social Council or ECOSOC. Ang role sa ECOSOC is to promote international policy in terms of economic, social, and environmental issues. Kaning ECOSOC or Economic and Social Council, ang ilahang trabaho is to promote the buhat og mga international policy in terms sa economic, social, or sa environment nga issues. And the fourth one is the Trusteeship Council. Trusteeship Council is responsible for supervising trust territories placed under the trusteeship system. Trust territories means those are the country or the states who are defeated during the World War II. Trabaho niya is help siya sa mga na-defeat nga countries during the World War II para mubangon sila balik o to build their. And the fifth one is the International Court of Justice, or shall we say World Court. Dito sa tuwag na ito yung mga municipal court, regional court, or provincial court. Napo tayo World Court. Ang World Court is a principal judicial organ of the UN. Muna ang korte sa mga membro sa UN. Ang iyang role is to settle legal disputes between states in accordance with the international law. Maria po siya kuhan niya po. Same rin po sa mga Municipal Court, Regional Court, Provincial Court, o Supreme Court. Mura man gyapon ang yahang purpose or rule. And the last one is the Secretariat. The role of Secretariat is provides administrative support to the provincial organs of UN, offers policy advice and analysis to Secretary General, and prepares reports and documentaries. In short, ang secretary, marami ka pinagkuhan, tigsulat talaga siya, chat down sa mga reports, sigwat sa mga reports, assist sa Secretary General, and that's all. Thank you.
So, good evening everyone, good evening sir. So, I am the next reporter and I am Ferdinand Tuberde. So, my topic is all about United Nations General Assembly. So, the United General Assembly is the main deliberative organ of the United Nations. It is composed of representatives from all member states, each one of which has one vote. So, ang UN General Assembly is muna sila ang pinaka-main deliberative organ of the United Nations. So sila ang pinaka sentro o silbing ulo sa isa ka lugar, o sa panimalay pa sila ang haligin tahanan. So sila ang tigplano ug unsay makaayo sa ilang mga sakop ug unsay mas maayong mga solusyon nga mahimong epektibo ang pagka peaceful ug ma-maintain ang peace and security sa ilang mga sakop. So matag usa aning membro aning UN General Assembly, usa kani sila sa mga dili madali ay mga dili simpleng mga tao lang, kun dili na mga kaya, dili lang sa kaya na sila mga taas nga mga ranggo, o muna sila ang mga tigplano sa mga maayong solusyon nga pagabuhaton og mga maayong buluhaton nga maka-benefits ang ilang mga sakop ug sila. So ang United Nations General Assembly is one of the 6 principal organs to the United Nations, serving its main deliberative, policy making and representative organ. So mo ni sila ang tigbuhat og policy making, tigbuhat og mga balaod nga diin ma-reduce ang mga krimen nga mga panghitabo. Just like example nga kanang nahitabo nga first time nahitabo og naay robbing, robbing. So ila once nga kuan na gani nga krimen, ila jud nang magkuan na sila meeting dayon nga pangitaan na lag pamaagi nga ug unsay maayo nga solusyon nga kanang nga krimen dili na mo dako or di na mas mulala mo nga ila din ang buhatan og kuan balaod nga kanang nga buluhaton di jud na maayo. So the United Nations General Assembly can also initiate studies and make recommendation for the purpose of Article 13. So mo ni nga tig-initiate sila og mga studies. So ila jud nang studyhan ang mga pasikot-sikot unsay mga problema sa ilang mga sakop, sa problema sa ilang lugar nga ila jud nang mapangitaan og solusyon kung unsay mga problema sa ilang lugar or palibot. Ila nang studyhan ug unsay makaayo ug nga aron ma-maintain ang peace ug ang security, ug dili na sa peace ug security ug uban pa. So sila usab ang mga magarekomenda sa mga purpose sa Article 13. So ang Article 13 di is the Congress give highest priority to the enactment of measures that protect and enhance the right of all the people. So Muni ang ilang pinaka highest nga priority nga protektahan ug mas i-enhance ang right sa tanang mga tawo nga matag usa jud nato na jud right sa nga unsa atong baton, just like example sa human dignity. So natay right nga atong protektahan atong dignidad, ug labi na ning reduce social media ug sa mga kontrang social natay right nga mo update, mag-post, makig-access sa mga laing tao, mo access sa kuan nga dili labag sa balaod o dire sa ekonomiya. So natay balaod ay natay right nga mupuyo sa ibuhaton sa ekonomiya, kanang natay right nga mo right to speech usab sa ekonomiya, mohatag tag opinion, expression. O diri sa political inequalities, so sa politika wala untay taas mubo, tanan pantay-pantay gyud. So sama na sa political nanting kuan ting si tawag ini man kanang ting butar na bitaw na eleksyon. So matag usa ka nato natay right nga kung kinsa atong iboto, di sila makabuot kung kinsay iboto nato, wala sila right ana. So matag usa nato na jud tay right nga kung kinsa atong iboto, mao jud to tong iboto, dili sila pwede maka kuan. Kung mo kuan manggaling sila, magboto sila kinsa atong iboto, kaya nato silang sampahan og kaso, kaya natong isumbong sa mga mas taas og mga ranggo nga diin nga aron makuan ilang mga dili maayong binuhatan. Og diri sab sa atong ang pag-remove sa cultural inequities na aron nasab tay right nga atong i-remove ang cultural inequities. So kabulumaan na sabot na atong sa kuan cultural equities o diri sa wealth and political power for the common good. So naay upat ka mga upat ka mga purpose o mga nilihukan aning UN General Assembly. So ang first is promoting international cooperation in the political field. So sila ang nagapromote kung unsay mas maayong unsay naa sa political field sa mga example ng mga eleksyon sila nagadumala nga mahimong kuan peaceful ang pagkuan sa eleksyon, sila mo naga-secured nga aron ma-maintain ang peace ug security nga kanang mga bias na mga bias dra nagkuan sa politiko ng eleksyon, kaya na nilang panon o nalang po mo sumbong o na magaling sila makita ng mga kuan dili maayong nahitabo sa political field, kaya na nilang kuan lihokon o sila tig-promote ana unsay mga mas maayong mga kuan buhaton sa politika. So ikaduha, encouraging the progressive development on international law and its codification. So sila sab ang tigkuan encourage nga mas mo progressive development ang international law nga mas mahimong mas effective o mas mo develop ang isa ka international pamaagi sa pagbuhat og maayong balaod. So ug dili lang sa niana og sa daghan pa. So ang ikatulo, promoting international cooperation in the economics, social, cultural, educational and health fields. So ila sa gina-promote ang international cooperation sa ekonomiya, matag usa nga natay rights sa ekonomiya ug unsay buhaton sa ekonomiya nga dili lang labag sa balaod ug kani mas makatabang or makaayo ba sa isa ka lugar o diri sa social sa matong ingon natay rights nga mag-post maki-communicate sa uban unsay buhaton nato sa social nga dili lang jud labag sa balaod. O sa cultural no natay balaod natay right sa unsa nga cultural naata nga unsay mga culture bisag unsa cultural activities kaya na pwede ra naton ipadayon di padayon di nga dili lang jud mulabag sa balaod na natay mga rights nga unsay mga buhaton nato unsay mga atong mga matag usa mga culture di nila madali-dali o kuan kanang hilabot atong kultura atong matag culture it's of culture so diri sab sa educational so matag usa naay right nga mo eskwela maskin walay kaya naay gobyerno mutabang nga aron gusto jud ka mo eskwela maka-eskwela ka ang kaning is pang educational dili lang ni siya para sa mga dato kundi para ni sa tanan kung kinsay mga gusto mo eskwela ug kinsay gusto mo kan sa educational na kung pobre magaling ka na ang gobyerno mutabang kanimo man nga kung gusto jud ka paminaw nimo kanang wala kay gusto jud ka mo eskwela pero apiki jud kay inyong panginabuhi dili na siya kuan dili na siya babag ang imong dili babag ang inyong kahimtang kay kuan example uban sali kay dato binuangan nila mga pobre nga kani ang imong eskwela kay awan ni kaya dili ay mo kahadlok kay ngano ang kani sa pag educational dili lang ni para sa mga nay kaya para ni sa tanan og diri sab sa tong health fields natay mga ug watay pampalit nag-provide sila kuan mga free nga medicine free nga mga check up sa center sa center may mga free nga dili na ka madak-an og gasto para sa namo moadto ka sa ospital ka palit kag mga mahal-mahal nga kuan tambal na nag-provide pud ni sila og kuan mga libre nga makasave ang kuan makasave ta og makatabang sa mga tawo nga wala jud ba so ang ikupat assist of realization of human rights and fundamental freedom for all without distinction as to race, sex, language or religion etc. So sila ila sab giparelya sa tuwa matag usa nga ang human rights and fundamental freedom so atong freedom nga sa freedom of speech, freedom of choice, freedom of tanan-tanan na daghang kitag freedom nga dili sila makadali buot sa tuwa freedom sama ni freedom sa tong kuan freedom we born ganang freedom nga mabuhi ta o freedom of share of opinion sa kuan ekonomiya o expression diyon kanang freedom nga dili tala madaldali og kuan ulipon o dili tala madaldali og kanang force nga mahimong livorer or ilang di ta nila madaldali og kanang daog kay matag usa nato na joy kuan rights nga atong protektahan ato ang kaugalingon og atong mga kung sa bang atong protektahan ra nga adyo so freedom sa atong unsay pilian atong religion atong language atong sex LGBTQ na sa una kay bayag laki ra jud ang gi-accept nga sex pero karon nanay kan i-accept na siya kanang LGBTQ natay rights sa mga bayot na sila rights nga iladlad kung sa sila karon di na sila magtago kay wala gibutan sa balaod nga mapreso kung magbinayad sila ba kung sa ba nanay rights matag matag 6 ug unsa ta pakita nato kay ay mo ka hadlo kay di ta mapriso kung sa nga kay natay rights. We can show who we are. Charot. So sa language usab kaya natay rights nga gusto na to nga makabulo sa mga naglaing-laing mga language kaya kana gulay. So moro to akong topic. Thank you.
Everyone, this is my assigned topic of Group 3, tackling about the UN Security Council. The Security Council consists of 15 members of the United Nations, and each member has one representative. The permanent members are the United States, United Kingdom, France, China, and Russia. The General Assembly elects 10 other members of the United Nations to be non-permanent members of the Security Council. The non-permanent Security Council members are Albania, Brazil, Ghana, United Arab Emirates, India, Ireland, Mexico, and Norway. With due regard to the contribution of members of the United Nations to the maintenance of international peace and security, and to the other purposes of the organization, and also to equitable geographical distribution. The Security Council's functions are the following: maintenance of international peace and security. Second, carry out pacific settlements of disputes, to seek solution by negotiation, inquiry, mediation, arbitration, judicial settlement, resort to regional agencies or arrangement to the other peaceful. Third, are to take action with respect to threats to the peace, breaches of the peace, or and acts of aggression. Fourth, establishing regional arrangement to encourage the development of pacific settlements of social disputes. Fifth, the approval of terms and trusteeship agreements and their alteration of amendment. Lastly, submission of annual and, when necessary, special reports to the General Assembly for its considerations. So, the functions of Security Councils may be only in the maintenance of international peace and other Economic and Social Council. The Economic and Social Council consists of 54 members of the United Nations elected by the General Assembly. Each member of the Economic and Social Council shall have one representative. The functions and powers of the Economic and Social Council are initiating studies and reports with respect to the international economic, social, cultural, educational, health, and related matters, and may make recommendations with respect to any such matters to the General Assembly, to the members of United Nations, and to the specialized agencies concerned. Second, making recommendations for the purpose of promoting respect for and observance of human rights and fundamental freedoms for all. Third, preparing draft conventions for submissions to the General Assembly with respect to matters falling within its competence. Lastly, calling for international conference on matters falling within its competence. So, the United Nations Economic and Social Council coordinates international economic, social, cultural, educational, and health matters. It fosters cooperation, conducts analysis, and promotes sustainable development Economic and Social Council facilitates dialogue, formulates policies, and make recommendations to advance global economic and social progress, ultimate working towards a more equitable and prosperous world. Thank you.